Welcome back to another episode of The Good,
The Bad,
The 30.
I am your co-host, Kiera Lindsay.
I'm Alexis IG.
And I'm Maya Hood.
And we are here for another girl talk.
And another thing.
And shenanigans.
We love a good Monday.
Yeah.
All right, so this topic today is just about men and women. And if men actually like women, or are they just wanting us? Are they only lusting over us? Do they genuinely like what we can bring to the table? So let's talk about it. So I got this topic from Cam Newton, his podcast or his radio, whatever it's called Funky Friday, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And he was interviewing Ace Metaphor. And I saw a clip where Ace was basically saying that, I have it right here, men like us sexually, but they are not attracted to what a woman is outside of our sexual organs.
Ooh.
And I really resonated with that. I think that I was basing it off of just my experience with men. Mm-hmm. And I think that from me knowing what I can bring to the table, I feel like I can agree with what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I want to get you guys' opinions. How do you guys feel about that? Did you guys watch the video first?
Yeah.
Okay, Maya, you said you watched the episode.
Yeah, I did. Jive turkey behavior. But I do love to indulge in conversations like this because I'm usually like in the neutral space of like men versus women and like our lack of luck when it comes to relationships. But I find it interesting because I try not to think like, I always say black people aren't a monolith. Mm-hmm. I look at men and women the same way.
Yeah.
And so I don't like to group them together and put one man's opinions and views on the other because I would hate for them to do that to us.
Right.
Because when you do it, then I'm going to put you in the category. You know what I mean? But back to like the being neutral, I feel like there are some men that, in general, I think that men are like pretty like straightforward.
Yeah.
And, like they're not as like complex, especially like with lacking emotional intelligence and different things like that. Like they have them, they just don't lean into them the way that we do. So there are that group of men who like, you're a woman, you're here to do a certain thing. Yep. I'm a man, I got this tool on me. Mm-hmm. And we just come together and we keep it very simple. And they can't see past that. I think that's like some type of flaw of their own related to like their upbringing or their experiences. I don't know if the third grader stepped on your flower when you gave it to her. I don't really know what goes on.
He grabbed that flower, threw it down, stepped on it.
I'm saying, like, and she chose somebody else. I don't know what happened to get you here, but I think it's interesting because there are some men who I think genuinely love women.
Yeah.
Like, they love everything, especially black women.
For sure.
Do y'all ever see like those reels and they be like, what's your favorite like hairstyle on a black woman? Or like, what's your favorite thing about black women? And even on TikTok, I've gotten into the part of the side of TikTok where black men talk about
like
things.
They show so much love to black women on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's like, it makes me think, what are they outside of TikTok? Because they could also just be doing that because that's the type of, that's what that's the audience that they want to attract because they know that it's a lot of black women that's gonna, lust over that for sure.
There's some,
it is, but
there's a few like, oh, you think you're a poet? Go on Shakespeare. I don't want to hear it. Now, I can see through the BS.
Yeah.
Some of them definitely are doing it for like the monetization.
Yeah.
I definitely have been like come across some that like love to talk about the things that they like about us.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's cool. That's reassuring.
What about you, Lex?
I do feel like some men are like that, and I have experienced like a man who just loves women, like not just sexually. Like, I don't know if it's because of how his mom was, and he just like worshiped the ground a woman walks on.
Yeah.
And then I have experienced men, like slightly experienced men who, again, think like Cam Newton, like they're just, or not Cam Newton, or what Ace Metaphor said pretty much. So, like, and I think that's a terrible feeling as a woman too.
Yeah,
there are men out there that think like that, and it's very true.
Yeah.
Like, you're disgusted with me until I can give you something.
Give you something, right?
That pleases you for that moment, and then you just
and you're still disgusted. Yeah.
And then you just go back. Like, I'm more than what I can provide.
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
And if you can't appreciate that, then I'd never want to be with someone like that.
Yeah.
But that is a real thing. I think it is. It could be mommy issues. It could be some type of trauma, or some men praise men more than women.
For sure.
So they don't really see the importance of women. So they're just like, men are powerful, and men are this, and men are that, and then it puts the women like at a lower level. So I feel like that's why they kind of don't have the respect that they should for us. But it is sad, but it's a real thing.
No, for sure. I feel like I try to stay neutral as well, but I think it's so hard because I can only base it off of my experience and what I see, you know? And I know that there are men out there, and I try not to categorize just based off of one characteristic or just one scenario or something that I've gone through, because every person is different. I kind of look at that when I look at like horoscopes, like how they say like all horoscopes are the same. It's like, no, that's not true. Like everyone is different. unless you're an Aquarius, it's crazy. But no, everyone is different. I'm screaming. But no, everyone is different. So I try to stay neutral, but I think that it's hard for me because I've dealt with those type of scenarios where I feel like it may not have been that on the guy's end, but that's what I felt, you know? Yeah. So I think that you brought up a part where how it could possibly be just parental issues, like the mother, like not being extremely present. How do you guys feel like having a mother and a father in a guy's life, how does that truly impact their emotional intelligence? Like, how can they be emotionally intimate with you if they grew up without a mother and a father, if they grew up with a mother and a father?
I think they can grow up with a mother and father and still have the trauma. Yeah. Of, like, if their mom is not nurturing, their mom is not doing the things that you would probably want from a wife or you know, what society says a wife should do. Yeah. So it's not something that they expect or look for. Like, if he has a non-nurturing mom or a careless mom, and then he dates someone who cares a lot, who's overly emotional.
He doesn't know how to navigate that.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to navigate that. He's like,
what do I do with this?
You're crazy because my mom wasn't like, or whatever, just the women
he's never had it.
They've never had that. And I think that is a huge thing. I think both parents are important on both genders. For sure. Regardless. But not just being present, but like being present. Yeah. Present. Like in your child's life, emotionally. And I think it affects a lot, like how women are with their dads and men are with their dads. Like that's their first example. They say a dad is a woman's first love. For sure. And a mom is the son's first love. Yeah. So I feel like it dictates their relationships. Like, we got to think when we raising these kids, we raising somebody's dad. We raising somebody's husband, somebody's wife, somebody's, you know. And I think, you know, as parents, or when y'all become parents, we just got to be more intentional, especially because I feel like our generation is more woke. Like, I don't think the generations in the past, the parents did it on purpose. I think it was just, we just getting by. Yeah. And I'm just trying to pay these bills. Yeah. I don't got time for that other stuff. Yeah. And so I feel like some of our men kind of fell into that gap, or women too kind of fell into that gap, because I know a lot of women who think like men, or like what society says is a man, where they're not emotional, they don't have any, they're not nurturing, they don't care about all these things, and people say, oh, you think like a man, and it's like, is that a good thing? No, I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I could definitely agree. I feel like it's definitely like your parents play a huge role in the type of woman that you go after, or the type of man that you go after. Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely feel like, regardless of if they were in your life or not, like the way that they treated you, the type of things that you guys did as a family, like that plays a huge part. Like, you can have a present parent, but that parent can also not be present, you know, like they cannot show up for like school things, or like just little things, you know, like not being attentive towards you when they see that, you know, like you're down, or, you know.
I think, like, just to piggyback back off what you said, sometimes it's not just, like, people don't just follow in the footsteps of their parents. Sometimes it's some people that go to the left, some people that go to the right. Like, oh, my parents raised me like this, so I'm going to be that. And some people is like, my parents didn't do this right with me, and I want to
try to do the opposite. Yeah.
Because I see how it affected me, or how much I just didn't like that. And that's just not the type of family I want to raise. So
yeah.
Typically, you do kind of following what you see, but some people do take the route of just
trying to be better.
Yeah, trying to be better.
Okay, I have two thoughts.
Yes,
I definitely agree that presence is not enough. It's important to have communication and exposure. And the whole time we were talking, like, I was thinking about the series that we were just talking about, Forever
on Netflix. Yeah.
And the whole time I'm watching the series, I just kept thinking, like, he has such a good dad.
Yeah.
But he also had a good mom, even though she was like kind of like a helicopter parent. There will be things where he's dating this girl and like she dropped them off and he's like, go walk her up to the porch. You know what I'm saying? If she was spending a lot of time over their house, the mom was like, you need to spend some time with her family. You need to take her out. Y'all spend a lot of time in the house, but you need to wine and dine her.
Grooming him to treat a woman.
You know what I'm saying? And then like she was like, the girlfriend was stressed out about something, and the dad was like, go check on her. Go take a drive and like talk and communicate and like be there for her. And it was just like so warming because his parents were so present and active. Obviously, like especially as a teenager, you don't want to involve your parents in like your whole life, but I think that was a good display of like when they know what's going on with you, they're able to even like steer you in healthy directions.
I love that. I need to watch that.
Definitely.
It's really, really good.
Please do. You'll zoom through it. The other half of that, you mentioned like, sometimes you grow up and you want to steer away from like what you were displayed and exposed to. And I just want everybody, if they don't do anything else, learn when to identify when you're settling. Because I think that oftentimes, and I don't know where this derives from, like, we have fatal flaws, or we empathize with people. We look at their shortcomings and we're like, well, this is why they can't do X, Y, and Z. And this may come out very strict.
I already know
very, very strict. But if you see, look, as my namesake,
scoot on up and let us know for real.
My namesake, I was named after Maya Angelou. Fun fact.
Were you really?
When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Oh, and I'm saying that to say, if you see that they can't do what you need them to do, and if you can't do what they need you to do, then y'all need to get up out of each other's face because you're both settling.
Yeah.
And nothing good comes from that.
Yeah.
Come on, Maya Hoodaloo.
We ain't got to sit up talking about why you like me and why you don't like me and why I ain't putting it down the way you want me to put it down. Let's go on and move around.
No, for sure.
Just saying it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got more to offer. You want to see it or not?
Yeah. No, for sure. I think that, and no, I definitely agree. I feel like I definitely agree. I think that a lot can be said about just how to maneuver a relationship in that type of capacity. I sometimes feel that when we come into a relationship, there's other parts of previous relationships that also comes into that relationship as well. So I think that just kind of playing off of the topic that we're talking about, I feel like there's some men, not to categorize them as all, but there are some men that bring on, or kind of, whenever there's something done in their new relationship, they're like, oh, I don't like that because my ex did that. And they're going to treat you the way that they treated their ex in that scenario, you know? Yeah. And I think that there's a lot to be said about how to just ensure that you learn people and you truly understand everyone's mannerisms, because not every relationship is the same. Not everyone's reaction to certain things that you do can be the same. So I feel like that also plays a part in kind of just showing how some men don't necessarily have the emotional intelligence to decipher the two, to know when to pivot when they're moving from one relationship to the next, you know?
I agree to that. And I also, when I think about our relationships. I think about it on like a worldly scale because I'm really big on alignment and timing and just like everybody could have a different like point of view or experience with the same person.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to like having boundaries and knowing when you're settling, because sometimes like, you know, this whole thing about women getting men ready for the next person.
Yeah.
I think
that's so crazy.
I remember watching like these shows, or like I hear it all the time. Like women will say, "I got you ready for somebody else," and listen, sometimes that may
be true. Yeah.
Sometimes the experiences that you share with somebody help them be better for the next person.
Yeah, for sure.
And the way that we like swallow that determines like the way that we're able to move on into our next relationships. And I think that goes for men as well. Sometimes you can't be right for somebody.
You can't, no.
And then now you got to sit up and watch somebody else be right to them that you couldn't do. And, you know, life is crazy. Like, you know, sometimes you just get a gutter punch and it's like, you know, humbling.
Yeah.
But nobody goes through the life without being humbled.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just being intentional. Like, I know that we are in this like, oh, just have fun. Everything is so fun. I remember like hearing it, just have fun. I don't want to fucking have fun.
No, facts. I feel like the old heads, they tell us that all the time. Just have fun. Just date. Just have fun. Like, it's not that easy for real.
I don't want to have no fun. Y'all play too much. Y'all
no, for sure.
The flowing up out the door.
Because you be having fun with me and Keisha up the street and Shakita over there. And it's crazy.
Because we can multitask. We can be intentional and have fun.
We can be intentional and respectful.
Hello?
And have fun.
All that going with the flow, let's have...
Oh, no.
Play with somebody else, kids.
Yeah, no.
Because it ain't happening over here.
Yeah.
Back to something you referenced, Kiera, of knowing the person, like getting to know the person that you're with. Because, again, each relationship is not going to be the same. And I'm real big on love languages.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your ex may have been okay with X, Y, and Z. She may have been like, her love language could have been gifts, and you felt like you had to buy her love because it was something that made her happy. Versus like, I'm a woman who words of affirmation is my biggest love language. Like, talk to me. You know,
affirm
people say, affirm me. You know, some people be like, let your actions speak for itself, or you know, words or actions is better than words. But I want both for one.
Yeah.
But I need them words
surely
first. And I feel like it's just important to know the person, because you're not in a relationship with the same person. How you treated this last person, and it may have been okay.
Yeah.
It may not be for the current one. So I think, like, just shifting back to like just what you said, Kiera, just like knowing your person, and
Yeah.
I still feel like people don't be knowing their love language. Like, they just read something and then they say, oh, yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Or like receiving gifts. But no, like, if
really
I
gotta
give you a gift and it ain't what you wanted, then that ain't
because you're going to be mad. You're going to want you're going to want to take that back. Yeah.
Go and learn yourself, too.
Yeah, for sure. That's very important.
That's something, too, like, especially at our age of like dating, where we're in the more serious, like we want something serious.
Yeah.
Right? You have to do some therapy, right? We're going back to the beginning of the topic of how we were raised and things like that. You got to go deal with all that childhood stuff.
Yes.
In therapy, I'm a big advocate, huge advocate for therapy.
Yes.
Because it may be things that you don't even understand as a problem, but your spouse or whoever you're dating may, if they're constantly telling you this is an issue, this is a problem, why aren't you, whatever, there's something
to fix it,
inside of you that's not allowing it. And so I think entering in any relationship, especially at our age now, you have to heal for yourself.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that you mentioned something about something that you just mentioned, how if your spouse is doing something, or if you're doing something to your spouse and you know that that's going to irritate your spouse and not truly like, that's something that your spouse will not appreciate. I think that is definitely like, you have to play your part. When you're, I always think about how when you're getting into a relationship, sometimes people be like, I heard this once. They said that you may not like the person that you're getting into a relationship with, but you're tolerating them. Like, it's someone that you're wanting to tolerate forever. Even if they piss you off, you know that there's going to be bad moments, but that's the person that I know that I want to be with. So I'm going to choose to love them, and I'm going to choose to like them forever, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that if you're choosing to be with somebody to that capacity, you have to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Like, you need to truly hone into yourself and try and figure out what you got going on that's pissing this person off, because clearly it's pissing them off. So, like, I don't want to piss her off anymore. Like, you know, something in there. I need to go figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Men and women, though, I know we keep saying we don't want to categorize, but low-key, we are, in a sense, right?
Oh, it's categories.
But, right.
It is, yeah. Categories for sure.
That's all it is.
Like, men, like, their expectations and our expectations is different. Like, we care about how someone makes us feel.
Yeah.
What can you do? They don't care about that.
Yeah.
They just want, a lot of men want someone to be there and just have their back. I got the rest.
Very simple.
But we care so much about how we feel. And, you know, I wouldn't say all, because some men are, like, more in tune with their emotions. But, like, generally speaking, like, what we care about and what's important for us is, like, completely different. But we were made this way.
Yeah.
Like, God intentionally made us this way.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something we have to, and I have learned too, like, in my relationships, like, he's never going to think like me.
Yeah.
He's never going to think like me. So I'm not going to hold him accountable for something fully. I'm going to hold you accountable now.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but especially if I've said it a couple times. But you're never going to initially think like me and what's important to me. We're not made the same. You know, you want someone that's just going to have your back. Hey, if I ever fall, you got me. More of a partnership versus we care about, like, oh, I just want to be in your skin. Some women, you know, I want to be in your skin. I want you to make me feel good. I want to feel pretty. I want to feel appreciated. I want to feel this. It's all about feel.
Yeah.
And theirs is more so presence.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
So how would y'all feel? You know, it's this trend going around, like, who gonna be the boys? Like, have y'all been seeing
Who
that?
gonna be the boys?
Who gonna be the boys? Like, if it's this guy said something about Durkin, and that was the male version of twerking.
Okay, this is too far.
They were like,
wait a minute,
who gonna be the boys? But it's just like,
no,
a
that
little
makes so much sense. Now I get it. Who gonna be the men?
Who gonna be the men?
Who gonna be the men?
I do feel like I know y'all saw that thing about men saying that they wanted to start receiving flowers.
Yeah.
See,
so
I'm
I
drawing the line
will
on some of
say,
this stuff.
we was literally just talking about TikTok and how men on TikTok, they've become like so, they love black women. Black women this. Oh, I'm going to do this for you and this for you and this for you. I did. Like, I also came across in that same little algorithm of TikTok, I also came across the men that's just like, trying to be the
that's so
they
crazy.
they're trying to be the
Who
bitch.
gonna be the boys?
They being the bitch. Like, they trying to be
That's so cringe.
Like,
This is crazy. You already got
give
a
you
merch.
flowers. What are you
already
talking
got-
about?
Oh, they got all the stuff.
They already got mercies.
Merces is crazy. You trying to be the bitch, talking about give you flowers? That's insane.
So, like, how
Can I
do y'all
uplift you up
feel
for sure?
about men, like, trying to tap into their emotional state? Like, do you feel like there needs to be a cap? Like, would you want to be with somebody that came home every day, like, I just want you to, like, understand, like, and they don't have to be crying. Okay, I'm being dramatic. But, like, how we are.
Yeah.
We want to be, you come in and you're not speaking. Did you have a bad day?
Yeah.
Anything I can do?
Right.
Yeah.
How would you feel if the roles were flipped? And if I were a boy.
Honestly, like, I don't like to say, I don't like to judge my response on things that I've never been in, because I've never been in the situation to, like, truly know. Like, I know that I'm a lover girl. Like, when I love you, I'll deal with anything. It's probably bad, but, like,
no, I'll
deal with absolutely anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I was in a situation like that, like, I would talk to him, like, what you got going on today? Like, don't you see me over here? Say hello, babe. How you doing? Like, what you got going on today? Would I just neglect men that's like that, or would I kind of feel some type of way and be like, ooh, he being a little bit too emotional?
Yeah.
Probably not, because, like, at the same time, like, I would want my man to want to feel safe with me. Like, I would want him to feel like he can be vulnerable with me.
Yeah.
Like, he can come home and be like, babe, I had a long day. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I want a man, like, to be in tune with your emotions. Like, I don't like the just stubborn, dry, like you don't know nothing affects you. Like, bro, I know you just.
I know you pissed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you
I know you.
I hate a stale.
Yeah.
Stale is intense, but that's so
funny.
real.
It is
stale.
It is
right?
stale. It's
But
crunchy.
I've also talked to a guy before who was overly emotional, like how you describe. I mean, we never went further than talking, for that reason. But he was very, he was very emotional.
You fucking with niggas that's thinking they cuter than you.
And I'm like, I feel like, okay, so he was, again, back to trauma. He was very insecure. Man, fine as hell. I'm talking about fine. But he was so insecure and he was so emotional every single day. Everything was deep. Every day was deep. And I'm like, I'm emotional. I'm a Libra. I'm emotional. And I'm not talking about crying. I just feel like I over-communicate my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm cool with you over-communicating your feelings because I feel like you understand me. But when you just keep
all the time.
All the time, like, are you ever happy? Because it can be draining.
And that's definitely very much so draining.
It doesn't have to just be negative. It just can kind of be. I just feel like, I don't know if it's like the standard that we set for men. It's like, I want you to be open and vulnerable. Because like, again, like what you said, I want it to be a safe space for you. But you said, is it a cap? It ain't no cap. It's a cap. It's a cap. It's not like, it's just, don't drain me. Too much because. If I'm emotional and you emotional, who holding us up?
No, like, for sure. No, I definitely feel that because I feel like having a strong father figure in your life, like you want your man to also uphold that. And I think growing up with my dad, he wasn't extremely emotional. So I'm basing my answer off of the fact that I've never been in it. But like if I'm also thinking about how I was raised, like my dad was he's a very strong, very much so black man, you know? Like, so I definitely understand that for sure.
Sometimes that could be, I do sometimes dislike the stereotype of the strong black man of I don't cry, I'm only I used to think that was like a good thing, but like the more I get older and I'm raising a son, like that is not healthy at all. Like you have some emotions, but I could see as a dad where they may not want to show it to their kids or whatever. But I think as a parent in general, the mom or dad, you should definitely show your emotions to your kids. Because I know friends who have parents who literally show no emotion, don't argue with each other in front of the kids, so the kids grow up thinking life is perfect.
Delusional.
And them parents going through hell. I understand keeping certain private conversations private, and I'm not trying to steer the conversation, but this is just, on brand. Like, it's okay to show, because you're raising someone else's husband and wife right now, and they're going to do the same thing, and they're going to keep bottling stuff inside. Oh, my mom and dad never did this. So when a girl tried to argue with them, they got a problem with it because they saw their mama never argue with their daddy.
They need to see. That's why I feel like it goes back to what I was saying before, what he was saying in the video, that men don't really like women because of that. Like they didn't grow up, maybe this could be it, but they possibly didn't grow up actually seeing it, so they don't know how to navigate situations like that. So when they're foreign to those type of situations, they're like, oh no, I don't like it, but I'm gonna like what you about to do for me. But after that, get up. Grab your shit.
They don't value us.
They don't value what we can bring. Because they possibly haven't seen that.
And probably look at women as weak. Because, I mean, they definitely do that. When we know we didn't put this shit on our back. Okay?
I'm talking about it.
I'm worth more than laying on my back.
Babe,
I'm putting shit on my back. Okay?
I can make 2 and 2 equal 10,000.
No, seriously. Especially the right woman.
Right, for sure.
Stack it up.
All right, guys, we reached a part of our episode where we're going to ask Gia a random question, aka ChatGPT, and we will answer. So I just did a quick search. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
What's a weird little habit you have that you swear makes your life better but sounds totally unhinged when you explain it?
Ooh. A weird habit that I have.
I don't know if it's weird, because this is kind of how I was raised. I think I said this to you earlier. Like, if I have plans to go out with my friends or do anything at all, like I want to go somewhere, I make myself like earn everything that I do.
She does. So, she gives herself chores.
Yeah. I'll say I can't go or do anything unless I do all my chores. And I probably say that, and it's so true, because I'm like, oh, I got to do all this, all these things around the house or whatever for Chase. I make myself earn it, and it makes me do it because I'm gonna do it regardless. But
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I didn't accomplish it.
Yeah.
And so I do that with like a lot of things, not just like chores or going out. It's just like I'll be working and I'm starving. My stomach is growling, and I'm like,
I can't eat.
I need a little treat after
I
this.
can't eat until I wash these dishes.
I'll be like, I have to finish this email, do this, and then I can have food.
That's nuts.
It's totally unhinged. Like
That's
I make
crazy.
myself
That
earn
is
things.
nuts.
I feel like I don't deserve it. I just like,
You deserve food, honey.
You deserve food. Like,
You
please
need that
eat.
nourishment.
baby, I
Please
deserve.
No, that's a good one. I don't know if I can. I don't even know if I have a habit that's like weird.
They don't have to be weird, but like, what's something that like you feel? It's something that people probably don't do on like a daily, but it's part of your normal.
Put my
routine.
phone down at 10 p.m.
Okay,
That's really
a
good.
one.
It really is.
But that's a good productive. Well, I mean, mine's
Yeah.
productive too. I
Yeah.
make myself earn it. You make yourself.
Yeah.
You set boundaries, cut yourself off.
Yeah.
To not.
So mine's is probably like during the week when it's a day that I know that I have to work the next day.
Yeah.
I'm putting my phone down at 10 p.m. Like
Yeah.
every day.
I love that.
And
so
then
much.
even if I don't, like 9 times out of 10, I'm not sleep until like 11:30. But like I'm off my phone. Like I'm just waiting until I fall asleep. So put my phone down at like 10 p.m. is probably mine.
That's good. I can't think of any for real either. I think if I'm reading a book, I'll put my phone in the other room
Yeah.
because I want to get through the book, and there's always distractions. But yeah, aside from that,
That's still a good one though.
Y'all,
Yeah.
Gia gave some
Yeah.
funny. Oh, I think it went away. But Gia gave funny examples of like, I reheat my I reheat my coffee 5 times.
oh, I definitely do that.
Yeah, like
Do you really?
I definitely
Like because
do
you're drinking
do
on
that.
it too long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
or,
wow.
Like it was just like a whole bunch of random stuff that
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
somebody would probably be like, "Girl, why are you just heated that
Yeah,
up?"
no.
Or like okay, another thing for me, I set like 7 alarms to get up.
Really?
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. And they're
Like
like
that first
10,
one getting ignored.
they're
babe.
10 minutes
Is it
in
really?
between.
Yeah, it's probably like
Snooze.
7:05, 7:10,
So then you
7:15.
got
I'm
all
getting
the
up on the
snoozers coming
first
back
ring.
at one time. Oh no.
Oh,
The
no.
I'm
first
snoozing
ring.
every one of them.
I know that's right.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah.
fair. Well, those are good ones, girls.
Yeah.
I think that this is a very much so great conversation. We have to do this again and bring a guy on. We get his perspective.
Oh,
What do y'all feel
that'd
about
be a
that?
good
Yeah.
one.
Right? I think so too.
Yeah. We'll do it.
Not bet to ask.
All right, so
BTA.
so we're at the end of the episode, and we always give a cute little quote
Yes.
to wrap up the episode. And my quote is, "Being desired is not the same as being valued. One feeds the ego, the other feeds the soul."
Ooh.
That was good. That was good. That was
I'm
good.
sorry. Say it one more time.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Being desired is not the same as being valued. One feeds the ego, the other feeds the soul.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was good.
Get rid of that ego.
Purr,
that
purr.
was good.
Thank you guys so much for watching The Good.
The bad.
The 30.
Make sure that you catch us next Monday. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on all platforms at Good Bad 30. And we're now on Apple Podcasts too. So
we are.
find us there. Thanks, guys.
Bye.